today's evening is a mix of three films that, don't very comfortably sit together necessarily, but we thought there are some interesting elements that might talk to each other. So the theme of today is the image as record. And we are starting with a newsreel, an FD newsreel, which many of you will remember would be shown before every film in a cinema hall. And we are not exactly sure which year this newsreel is from, because these newsreels are only numbered. So it's a random guess. But the newsreel for us is an interesting visual archive of the state's record of itself. A young nation trying to make a record of their own history. And we are trying to dip into this to sort of just get a sense of that official record. Also, very often there are images and there are moments captured on celluloid which are iconic, and it's quite incredible to get a visual record of these. These are like literal visual records. The other two films very, very differently, in a sense, question and critique the sense of the record, and is almost cynical of what this record could be and how close to reality or how close to the experience of that reality it can be. Sort of speak about the other two films afterwards, but first we'll watch this 10-minute newsreel of films.
These young swimmers are starting off on the 50-yard freestyle race in the 11th Delhi Swimming Championships. In the 25-yard freestyle event, Prime Minister. Kasturba Gram is 5 miles from Indore. It will be the headquarters of the Kasturba National Memorial Trust. The trust was started in the hunting. Their women folk enjoy a great degree of freedom, without, however, being bold or brazen. The Santhals are a thoroughly lovable people whose staunch adherence to their ancient traditions lends colour to the variety of Indian life.
This was review number 106, and apart from the fact that it's fascinating to see the voiceover and the image going in totally different directions, but it's an incredible, actually, record of our own imagination of ourselves in the early years, of the state's imagination of ourselves. It hasn't changed over time. It might have become a little more sophisticated, I imagine, and thank God we don't go around killing our wildlife anymore, but that was a bit traumatic to watch. But I think it's quite an important visual archive that we have, that is available over here, and I think we really need to start looking at it afresh. Leaving this aside, we are moving to Night and Fog. Many of you might have seen it before. It's an iconic film made barely 10 years after the World War II. I think it was the first important film made about the war after the war. And Alain Resnais, the filmmaker, very famously said that he would never want to make a film when a war was on, about the war, because it is not about the experience of the war, but it is about understanding what happened, and that can only happen after a cataclysmic event like that has happened. And Alain Resnais, as many of you know, if you've seen his other films, was very, very obsessed at that point in time with the notions of memory and forgetting, and where does the image come into that. And this film really dwells, in fact meditates on that, and it equally visually meditates on the physical structure that were the concentration camps. And in making a record of that physical structure, it sort of tries to raise the question of how can we make sure we don't forget what happened. Equally, he was very engaged with the notion of not making a film that gives you a sense of that experience, something that he was very, very strong, very staunchly opposed to. So it's a very meditative, cerebral reflection on all these issues. In an odd way, it's interesting because he uses a lot of very gruesome archival material. And watching the earlier newsreel, it sort of began preparing for a very different set of visual archival material that Alain Resnais uses. So, I don't know if that connection would happen for any of you, but that was something that I was sort of leading up to. So yeah, we'll watch Night and Fog.
paysage tranquille. Même une prairie avec des vols de corbeaux, des moissons et des feux d'herbe. Même une route où passent des voitures, des paysans, des couples, même un village pour vacances, avec une foire et un clocher peuvent conduire tout simplement à un camp de concentration. Ceux de gauche iront travailler, ceux de droite. Ces images sont prises quelques instants avant une extermination. Avec les corps, on veut fabriquer du savon.
This film speaks to us as if it's speaking of our today. Leaving this film, we are going to a film that seems like from a different world altogether. It's a film made by Ajay Narona, who is here. It's a film that is it's a very personal film. It's a landscape far removed from this. It's a very private landscape. It's a journey of a filmmaker who lost his father at a very young age. And through the past 5, 6, 7 years of making this film, he's been trying to put together a picture of his father, whom he lost when he was 6. It has, in a sense, seems to have no resonance with the earlier film in its quest, in its landscape. But it's a film again engaged with this notion of how do you create memory? How can one think about creating a memory through images? What is that quest all about? It's far removed from the previous film in terms of the form, in terms of the mood, in terms of the questions it's asking. And it will really take you very, very far away from the very, very chilling, gruesome images that we have just seen. But I'm hoping at the end, after we have when we are having a discussion with the filmmaker, we could go back to some of the thoughts that might stay with you through the previous film as well. So presenting, very, very proud to present a film made by a very dear friend and colleague, someone who has, sort of journeyed together. This earlier film is very important in the filmmaker's own set of films that have inspired him. So that's again something I would really like to talk about. But here is Ajay Narona's A Picture of You. It is 73 minutes.
I remember that family album so clearly. The order of the photographs even. Now I was left with nothing but the memory of my dad. But what if I lost this too? Jesus says, happy are those who do not see but yet believe. No, not that I don't believe, but like doubting Thomas, I want to touch